What's up, mechanics? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another episode of Tool Tuesday here at the VIM Tools headquarters. Today, we are going to be doing a reaction video to a recent video that was posted called Who the Heck is VIM Tools? And it seemed appropriate to react to that because there was a lot of information shared there. So we would just want to share our thoughts on some of the things that were said.
It was a pretty deep dive into not only our history, but the business itself, really what it does, who owns it, where it came from, everything. So that being said, it was actually pretty impressive. So we're going to comment on a lot of it, and we're going to kind of go through some of that with you guys. So some of those viewers who didn't get to see that can see it now and see our take on it. And we can not correct, but kind of set the story straight on some of the stuff. Because some of the information was omitted from his video.
Yeah, some things were shared that I didn't even know. So, all right, so this was posted yesterday. This is a pretty new video.
By
it's by the Den of Tools. I believe his name is Jeff. And
cool guy.
It's gotten, yeah. You know what's funny is that I've actually watched some of his videos before, and my fiance's stepfather actually watches his videos, and he's the one that sent me this link. Because he does a lot of woodworking, and he has a lot of tools, and he sent me this link and was like, look at this guy did a video on VIM. So we figured, there's a lot of information shared here, so we're going to go over it and share our thoughts on it. So
are you wondering to yourself, who the heck is VIM Tools? Yep, a lot of people have been asking me that question lately. They seem to be like they came out of nowhere. All of a sudden there's ads running for them everywhere. Tons of creators are reviewing them. They're popping up on Instagram and on Facebook and all over the place. So who are these people? Are these another one of these?
First I want to say, we
didn't come out of nowhere.
We don't we don't pay for ads. So if you see advertisements for us,
that's a customer paying for ads because they're selling our products.
That may be a distributor who's paying for the ad to run it themselves. We don't advertise. We don't pay for advertisements ourselves. We do make our own videos on Instagram and here on YouTube and stuff. So if you see us there, yes. Also, we don't pay creators to review our products. So if you see somebody else on Instagram or YouTube reviewing our products, it's just because they wanted to.
Which the fact that we don't do any of those things and we are still popping up everywhere kind of speaks volumes to the quality and how much people like our stuff.
Yeah, and like the hype that is kind of being built around it, because we're releasing so much new stuff, and VIM has been around for a long time, so people are like, oh, VIM, I know that name.
It's like what
the hell? Like, it looks a little different. Now it's green and all this stuff, and these are new tools, so people want to see what it's about.
It's like it got a kick in the ass.
Yeah. So
you got like a big old green foot. Just
took a shot of Red Bull. All right.
Pop up, tool companies out of the middle of nowhere, trying to hone in on the tool truck alternative market? Well, the answer to that is no, but also kind of yes. Let's jump into it. So VIM Tools has been around since 1931. I kid you not. But remember this, a tool, unless the founder is still alive and still running the tool or the company, a company isn't a person, all right? It gets handed off, it gets handed down, it gets changed, and they change their character, especially as they get bought and sold. So here's the history according to VIM themselves. Now, understand this is their own history and they're reporting, and honestly, it's a little odd because they talk about how the company was founded in 1931 as one of the original mobile tool distributors. Apparently, the guy who founded it drove around and was all over the place and was selling the tools like out of the back of his car and stuff like that. But here's the thing. Nobody ever says who this founder was. Now, they do talk about Ray Durston, and Ray Durston founded the Flexible Carbon Scraper Company in 1932, Pasadena, California. And that company grew, and he was manufacturing small bits and wrenches and all sorts of stuff. And in 1944, he bought VIM Tools. Now, he kept the tool company separate, but they talk about how the company, he trademarked the term VIM Tools. Like, it wasn't just the name of the company, it became the brand of the tools themselves. And really, after that, for a good long time, not much is known about the company. And then they pop up here, they built a new facility in 59, great, that's awesome. And then in 2020, the company was purchased by Luis Lopez and moved to its new home in Tampa, down in Tampa, Florida. Luis had been the director of sales for almost a decade prior to that. So he was part of the company and then he bought the company. That's talk about moving up. I'm not waiting around for a promotion. So in 2021, they celebrated their 90th anniversary. So the company's been around, but it's not. But they were a carbon scraper company. When did they become an automotive tools company? And that is kind of up in the air. In fact, it's kind of weird. Like they can't even talk about who.
There was a lot there.
It was a lot.
Yes, VIM was started in 1931, but the history of VIM is in two parts. There was VIM Tools and there was the Carbon Scraper Company. And the Carbon Scraper Company was separate from VIM. The owner of the Carbon Scraper Company, who was Ray Durston, ended up purchasing VIM like in the 40s, right?
So to make it, make sense, the automotive part of the company came from the guy which I say the guy because the original founder name was not passed down throughout those 3 generations, the man who we bought the name from, or who they bought the name from. But the guy, Mr. Vim himself, would drive around. He was located in Minneapolis, and he would drive around the country going to local body shops all around from the Midwest all the way through the West Coast to essentially sell generic tools, well, not generic, VIM branded tools to everyone in those local body shops, because at the time there wasn't that many. I mean, there were specialty tools, but like it wasn't as broad. There were screwdriver sets, red socket sets. It wasn't crazy things that you needed. They were just the tools were simpler. So Mr. Ray Durston was the one making them for him. While he had his company's Carbon Scraper Company, he was making automotive tools, VIM branded, for Mr. Vim himself. And all the meanwhile, years go on, he grew his customer base, started doing that for more people. And then in the 40s is when he bought the name VIM and the business from the gentleman who owned it, and then transferred the name of the Carbon Scraper Company over to Durston Manufacturing Company. Continued making automotive products for various, multiple different automotive tool companies in the country. And then he also made VIM his own line. So he did his own and then private label for a bunch of people. And that started in the 40s. And we still do that today.
Yeah, so the Carbon Scraper Company being manufacturing, VIM being its own brand, and the Carbon Scraper Company, having made all these products for VIM, decided to purchase it out so that they could have their own brand and make their own tools for their own brand, which was now VIM.
So the answer to the, when did they start making automotive stuff? Where did they come from? We started making automotive tools essentially from day one. We changed our name to Durston Manufacturing from Carbon Scraper Company and branded our own brand of tools in the 40s. The mid-40s is when we started doing that.
There was a lot that happened in that period of time.
Yeah.
And the original owner of VIM, his name is not known. The
gentleman who owned the
original owner of Durston Manufacturing, Ray Durston, he couldn't even tell us. And sadly, he passed away last year.
Well, no. His son Mel passed away last year.
Oh, that's right.
Ray was, already not older, but he's already a grown man in the 30s.
Ray's son Mel, he passed away last year, and we had talked to him before then, and he couldn't even tell us the name of the original owner of VIM.
It was not passed down.
And we've looked it up, we've done our research, we couldn't find anything on it, but the owner of Durston Manufacturing, which was Ray Durston, bought VIM and kind of started this whole thing, growing it into what it has become.
And now the reason you saw nothing between the 40s-ish, 50s, and then all the way up until like the 2020s is because that was 3 generations of family that it got passed down to. It went from Mr. Ray down to Mr. Mel, and then it passed down from Mel to his 2 son-in-laws, who are Jim Maloney and Donovan Norton, who ran the company, and all of them in unison helped grow the company, worked there from the very bottom, made their way all the way up to the company before taking over. I'm talking sweeping, metal fabricating, everything. They were doing everything themselves, and they learned how to do everything at that company. They were, like he said in an earlier video, what do you call them?
They were metallurgists.
They were metal. So they knew what they were doing, and from a manufacturing standpoint. Now, what did change over that time is that little by little, it went from, say 90% private label to 10% their own brand. That started switching a little bit because the VIM brand is much bigger now. So it's a larger percentage of our business.
And for anyone that doesn't know what private label means, it's our company making products under different names.
For other companies.
For other companies, because people will outsource their manufacturing to us so that we'll make tools for them with their name on it. And so that started switching. VIM started growing a lot more.
And it's not to say that the private label slowed down. It's just that the VIM brand itself grew so much that it became a bigger percentage of our business.
Yes, but it was all one family that entire time. After VIM was purchased from the mystery owner, it was Ray Durston and his family for up until 2020.
Yep. And then that's when, obviously, you said my father, Luis Lopez, was the director of sales at, I think, for 8 years at the company. And, you know, we're still very close friends with the owners. And at the time, they were ready to retire. Their children were in their own professions outside of the tool industry. So they said, well, and they made a deal, and they ended up selling it to my family, my father. And here we are running it because we had been doing it beforehand while my father was the director of sales. We were reps for the company, and I liked what I did. He liked what he did. We, he's like, if this was something that we want to do, let's freaking do it. So
yeah, I just kind of grew into it. But he talks a little bit more about this going forward. So
the actual founder of the company is. So I did some searching though, because let's talk about what's going on now. That's what's really important. So I did a search for Luis Lopez, and we found him here on LinkedIn. And there's not a ton of information. Now there's still VIM Tools and Durston Manufacturing, and he's listed as the president for the past 3 years and 3 months. Before that, he was listed as President International Marketing and Sales from 2013 to 2000 something or other, but it doesn't really say what it was. It says OEM and brand development projects. Now, I'm not sure if there is a tool company called OEM Tools, but that doesn't list him. It isn't listed as that. And I did a search for OEM Tools with his name, and I couldn't find anything. So I'm not sure exactly what company he was.
OEM just meaning original equipment manufacturer. That's another word for somebody who private labels product.
100%.
IMS, International Marketing Sales, is a strictly private label company that Lewis had been running since '97.
Yeah, so really what he ran it since before I was born. He started that company. That's what he started doing in the tool industry, and that's when Astro Pneumatic took notice of him, and that's when he started working with Astro Pneumatic. And he made his way up at Astro Pneumatic as well, and he he became the president. And fast forward to now, then he became director of sales of VIM. And then he
because IMS began working with VIM,
exactly,
just as the carbon scraper company began working with VIM.
So IMS would make stuff for both VIM and multiple customers. VIM had their own customer base. So now how we run our business is IMS, or International Marketing and Sales, still alive and active, and we use that for our private labeling.
IMS makes a lot of tools for a lot of brands.
Both here and internationally.
A lot of brands that you guys probably use daily. And so there was a lot of experience that went into the purchase of VIM. And there was, IMS has a lot of experience in manufacturing. And so that's why we're able to release so many new products all the time and quality products. Because IMS, we have that backing of IMS. There's two companies in this office, IMS and VIM.
So, yeah, like you said, this office runs with 2 companies in it. We also have offices overseas for IMS. So we have a pretty decent team here, with our IMS being our private label company, which that's where we do all of our private labeling for other companies. And then VIM is the brand, like it was at the beginning, like it is now.
Yes.
And that is that part of it. So I know it's a little confusing.
The International Marketing and Sales, he was president of International Marketing. I guess that's the name of the company. Before that, though, he was with Astro Pneumatics, which is a well-known established company in the industry. So the guy does have, a background in the industry. He was there at Astro Pneumatics for 12 years, almost 13 years. So he's been doing some stuff in the industry. Trying to find a pic of this guy, though, is next to impossible. I think we snagged one when he got promoted over, and when he was still the...
That's my pops.
Yeah, that's him.
That is an older picture of him. That is him in what would now be, that was like 13 years ago. Yeah, that's over a decade ago. That's crazy.
It's at the original office. We've moved twice.
That is where IMS was. That's where he ran IMS out of before we had VIM and all the products and everything. So it's a much smaller operation there. It was just 3 offices, an upstairs showroom and a small warehouse.
Yep.
The director of sales over at VIM Tools, I believe this is a picture of him. It is listed as Luis Lopez. Sorry, getting all familiar with him there. Hey, Louis, how you doing? And I've seen pics. His son apparently works with the company, who is Luis Lopez Jr. In fact, the whole family seems to be working there. In fact, it's listed as a family business. that they're running, which is great if they're doing a good job of it. Now, I did try to look up their, I'm up here in Montana, so taking a spin by their offices wasn't exactly an option. But I was able to find it listed on Street View. This is in 2021. I'm not sure if it's that building or this building. Either one of them one looks derelict and the other one is clearly under construction. Maybe they're updating it. Who
It's empty or being abandoned.
Yeah. So we built this building. This building's brand new.
2020.
And that picture was taken in 2019 probably, when it was still under construction, or 2020 maybe. If you take a picture of it now, it looks much different.
We could all see. We might even show it at some point, but yeah, it looks different.
But yeah, the one that's under construction here is the office.
And
the one
on the
that's
left,
across the street is still empty.
yeah, it's been empty since then.
So if anybody needs a warehouse,
We got you.
hit us up.
We'll be neighbors.
knows, maybe new facilities. Now, what I did do is I did a corporation search trying to find out. We try to get the background. We want to know, are these established companies? Are they shell companies? How serious are these people? Are they fly by night? Just because the company itself, the name has been around since 1931, doesn't mean it's legit the same company. Just look at DeWalt. DeWalt is, like, right now the king of the biggest producer of cordless tools in the world. Yet when the company was founded, they made radial arm saws, and the DeWalt from back then has literally nothing to do with the DeWalt now. It's a zombie brand that they bought the brand, killed off the company, sat on the brand for a few years going, what are we going to do with this? Then they came out with the new Black & Decker stuff, the Pro Series, and like, no one's buying Pro Black & Decker. We'll call it DeWalt. So we got to make sure here what's going on with the company. Situations like that, you got to know, is there continuity of ownership and stuff? And we see them limited or listed as Durston Manufacturing in Florida, in the Tampa area. Luis Lopez, I keep getting all familiar with him. But not a ton of information. Looks like it started filing reports in 2022. So I'm guessing the whole merger kind of thing kind of took a little bit longer. We look at the who is. This is a great explanation as to how committed a company is. How long have they had a website? Do they just start up? But this website was established in 1997. Now, for those of you who think, well, that's basically what I would consider pre-World Wide Web. Now, there was a World Wide
Part that I said I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that this website was started in 1997.
I was born in 97.
I was born in 96.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. They were right on the money, because that was like, nobody was going on the internet then. So the IT guy back then, he was really on it.
He was a good one, that one.
Yeah, his name was Bob. He was a great guy. And VIMTools.com.
Web at that point. But the fact of the matter is, very few people were just jumping on and scurrying about it. It wasn't really until the early 2000s that the World Wide Web started to take off. Don't get me wrong, people were using it, but you had like dial-up through AOL and some of those other things. You're basically going through a dial-up provider, and then from there you had to find your exit out onto the web, whereas most people were just living in the realm of those online providers. There's a whole nother video I can do about that. But the fact of the matter is, registered in 1997, somebody there had a clue as to what was going to happen with the internet. Now, Facebook, I looked at their Facebook page. Gotta love the green. I'm a big fan of green. We got the green tint going behind us there in honor of VIM Tools here today. Look at this. And when I look at this, I'll tell you what, the first thing that jumped out at me was,
our Facebook isn't as active as we'd like. And for some reason, we're having a hard time, because Meta owns both Facebook and Instagram. You have to have those accounts linked. And the previous owners of Vim still have ownership of that account, and we can't figure out how to transfer it over.
It's linked to their personal.
It's linked to their personal account. And
you can't email and get an answer.
If we really want to start posting on Facebook, we would almost have to delete the Facebook entirely and then
start a new one that's not attached to Instagram.
You cannot get through to Meta customer service. I don't care what your problem is. You just can't get in touch with them, and you can't get help. But we're still trying. Our Facebook isn't that active, but we're very active on Instagram and YouTube.
VIM Tools, but they like to do this kind of green color as well. Looks like they got some interesting stuff. But we can go back. Their first posting on Facebook was I believe, in 2000 or August of 2015. So they've been active online for quite a while. They've been doing, and what I wanted to see here was I wanted to see how long have they been doing automotive. We get they can do carbon scrapers. That's great. You carbon scrape all day long. But are you a real player in the automotive tool company or industry? And it looks like they've been, mostly bits, stuff like that. And a lot of their bits, by the way, are American made. Most of their hand tools are not, but a lot of the bits are. So if you're looking for that, you can check them out. But looks like they got, bit drivers and stuff back in 2015.
In terms of him saying, how long have we been a player, or are you really a player in the automotive tool industry?
More than most of you know.
Regardless of whether or not you recognize the brand VIM, VIM has been manufacturing for the tool industry for a very long time. And I would say it is more likely than not that you have used one of our products under a different name than you think.
But that's it. That's all we're going to say on that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Before most people, realized how useful they were, I would say that they've definitely been playing the game here. We got some more ratcheting screwdriver and T-handle there. We got sockets and such. We got oil adapters there, oil filter adapters.
Even going back to the early 2000s, I'm not talking about just right now. Even going back to the early 2000s, there are products now that are still like A items, bestsellers for some of these larger brands that VIM started making 20 years ago.
Yeah, you could. A lot of it was, probably the late 2000s, but still, you're talking 15, 20 years almost of these products, these mature products still selling very well.
Yeah, but even in the 90s and the 80s, like VIM was manufacturing for other people because that was a larger portion of the business than the VIM brand.
We got some pry bars kind of stuff. That's for like trim and door panel sets. So they definitely have been playing this game for a while. We go on Instagram. Instagram, they've been doing, I think since 2018. Great photos, good content here on Instagram. They've got 25,000 followers, and they've been playing the YouTube game as well. Looks like they got 4,500 subscribers and 93 videos. Looks like good videos, though, honestly. A good show of the products. You should go check them out if you're interested. But let's talk about...
Thank you.
What up, YouTube?
Thanks, Jeff.
He kind of chuckled a little when he said 4,000 followers.
I don't think we forgot that.
He's got a lot more followers than we do. So if you're not following us, follow us.
Their website. So we'll talk about the ways you can order. Their website seems to be one way. We'll talk about some others here. So here's the main website. Again, and they're right. There's right. Look at it. They give it right here. 6803 Park East Boulevard, Tampa, Florida. So they're telling you. I like that. They're up front. They're like, this is who we are. This is where we are. Here's our phone number and everything. That gives me some confidence in it. And you know what?
Many companies lie about where they're at or not tell you.
I don't know.
I've never heard of that.
No, it's definitely a thing.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Why would you?
Because a lot of companies are owned by other companies, and so if you look up another company, the headquarters address may be somewhere else, and
that makes sense.
And a lot of companies are bought out, and they're bought by a company in another country, and
we're here.
A lot of that. We're not like that. We're not owned by any other company. This is people. VIM has become really popular, so people think we're much bigger company than we are. Dude, there are a lot of stories about who people think VIM are, and it is not that complicated. Like, we're a family-owned company. There's 25 people in this building. The Luis Lopez, who he showed, is the owner. He's sitting in the room over here.
Next to us.
Talking to our product manager and probably yelling at somebody else. and that's it, There's no big scheme.
Nope, it's just, pretty hardworking group of 20 people who have managed to, get a very good brand and bring it to the next level. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
And that is not without the help of, again, everything that we do here, your suggestions, the help from the old owners, because they were huge in helping us get our feet, wet in this tool business in terms of owning a company, because the first 6 months were crazy. Trying to set up a new company in the middle of COVID, bring all the product over from California, not ship, set up a new warehouse system. That was a lot.
Yeah, we were
And I
all
mean,
we were all warehouse workers at that time.
and granted, we were only sales reps, so we didn't know, a lot of the ins and outs of the old product. Like we had to learn all of that while helping pack and ship orders, while helping set up racks for more product, while helping deliver like pallets of stuff to local customers. It was a lot, but they were huge in that, and they helped us. And everyone who's been a part of this has really contributed.
yeah, it's been fun.
You didn't say that 3 years ago.
It was not fun then. Looking back, you can say that. But yeah, it's just a lot more simple than people think. VIM is exactly what you see here. 6803 Park East Boulevard, that's where we are sitting right now. And we're a family-owned company. We're not that big.
I've heard of these tools being sold on some tool trucks. Now, I don't know whether these are independent trucks or...
Now, we're active online just because we are younger, and a lot of companies don't have that. People hire social media managers now and all that stuff. But we don't do that. We just kind of started doing it ourselves, and we do it a lot because we found it fun.
By industry standard, we are very young.
Yeah, when we go to like meetings and expos and stuff, people are usually almost double our age, and they expect us to not know anything.
Or who the brand of the truck is, but I have heard of them showing up on tool trucks. Now, as far as like the tools themselves, that you can go through, and I'll put a link to this down below, and I'll put all relevant links down there if you're interested. But they've got some nice looking ratchets. They've got some other tools. Look at these pliers in here, Orca Grip Universal Plier Set. They've got t-shirts. They got 114 pages of stuff. They got a ton of tools. They've got this. You can become an authorized wholesaler if you want to be a VIM seller. You can download their catalog here. Here's a glance in the catalog. I said, good looking tools. Again, so what I found out is the bits stuff, a lot of the bits, not all of them are made in the USA. The majority of the products, I believe, are made in Taiwan, and then other stuff is made in China. And I'm guessing like stuff like the electronics and whatnot are all going to be made in China, kind of thing.
Magnets.
Yeah, the magnets for the most part, and some of the electronics, like some of the lights we used to have, but not really. It's like without the magnets, it's probably 1% of the product line.
Yeah.
Our entire hard line, anything that like all the hand tools are all Taiwan. Not all, but no China for the hand tools. All we do in China are magnets, displays, some lights that we used to do, some knives, but nothing that's like a hand tool.
And for anyone wondering what he's saying here, like the nice looking tools, these are some of the best quality tools you will find, even compared to the tool trucks themselves.
I mean, you'll see it in different reviews, not just from us, because this would be us tooting our own horn, but you see other channels reviewing it. And
it doesn't mean as much coming from us, and it's hard to get that across unless you actually hold it or look at, like, feel it or work with it. So there's not many people that are reviewing our products. There's like review channels that do a lot of reviewing, and even them haven't had many of our products on their videos. So hopefully in the future that'll happen more.
But you start looking for them, you'll find a decent amount of videos of people reviewing our products. Some smaller channels, it's not 250,000 subscriber channel that's reviewing our products for the most part, but there are 50, 75, 20,000 subscriber channels that are starting to take notice and reviewing our stuff, and they like it for the most part. I mean, very seldomly do you find reviews of our products that are solely negative. There's always, everyone's gonna have something that they prefer something else. That's fine. But in terms of this is garbage, you just don't see that on our products.
No,
and if
you
do,
won't.
if you do
you won't, because we don't make garbage products. There are some people that choose to bring in lower quality stuff, and
we could be cheaper. We could
try
have
and
a
make
cheaper price,
try and make a nice margin on it. But that's not what we do. The only way we would be able to work with some of the brands that we work with is if we make stuff that is that good.
It has to be up to their quality.
Has to be up to that standard, and so we do.
And what I was saying is that we could, bring in cheaper items and lower our prices and make them look great, but they're just, there's cheaper quality metals and, there's not as much craftsmanship into it, different materials, whatever it is. But who does that serve? That does no good for nobody. It does good for your wallet, at the beginning, but then our brand goes to shit because it's garbage.
And you don't really have pride in your own brand.
No, I don't.
When you're walking around talking to people and that your products are shit, it wouldn't be so fun. You know, this what we sell, our product line is like the premium of the tool industry.
Can you tell that working here has given this guy a stigma?
Okay.
He walks around the tool shows and goes,
Team VIM, baby.
But, you know, I like these sets here with the foam inserts. That's nice. Keep it all nice and tidy there. Looks pretty good here. Something that's cool is I get a lot of people, because they know I have contacts with a lot of the companies in the industry. So I get a lot of people who have ideas reach out to me going, hey, I've got this invention. Can you get me in touch with so-and-so? And I'm like, hey, you know, the people I'm in contact with don't really do that kind of thing. Maybe just reach out to customer service and they'll get you in touch. VIM, right on their website, has an inventor application. So you can apply with them to become an inventor for the company. Now, one of the things we got to talk about when we talk about companies like this, because Tecton kind of set.
So yes, we work with a lot of people in the industry that have ideas and come up with it. We've said this a lot on our channel. If you're a technician and you have an idea for a tool that would make your job easier, and you know it's just in your head for now, you can write your idea down on our inventor application form. We will sign an NDA, and so you don't have to worry about anything, and we will help you develop that product. And if it's something that sells very well, you know, you can make decent money on it. There are a lot of our products that are A items that were invented by other people, and they just used us as a way to bring it to life.
and they make decent money on it.
Mag rails. Somebody invented mag rails.
And
They make a lot of money on it.
We own the patent, but they get paid royalties on it because they they had a good ass idea.
Yeah.
Between Tecton and Harbor Freight, the warranty standard is kind of set. Those are the two bookmarks. You can either warranty, if you want a warranty online, Tecton has the gold standard for warranty online. If you want a warranty in stores, Sears dropped the ball and Harbor Freight picked it up. You walk in, you slap it on the counter, and you're in and out in like 5 minutes or less. Now, how does VIM stand up to that? Well, here's the deal. They have a Tecton-esque warranty. You go on the website, you enter in the form, you click some pictures, you submit it, and you get your product back. Not sure exactly how long it takes, but here's the deal. They are going to charge you $10 for this convenience. Doesn't matter whose fault it is, it's going to be $10 if you do it online. They strongly suggest that you go the route of dealing with whoever sold it to you first. So see if you can return it or warranty it in store if you can.
If you bought it from us, you don't have to pay shipping or the $9.95 fee. You don't have to pay that. If you bought it from our website, we don't charge that. It's only if you bought it outside and then choose to warranty it through us directly when we charge that fee.
Which he didn't say anything incorrect. He just kind of omitted certain things, and didn't make it seem. Some people interpreted that incorrectly, and we saw that in the comments of that video, actually. So I had to go back in there and kind of talk to some of them and explain to them what was going on. What we do is that it is a responsibility of our dealers to warranty the product for their customers, because we already paid the shipping to those dealers, and they are set up as dealers to do those things. That is their responsibility. We have our website in place so that some people who don't have access to those dealers can buy from us, and for those customers, we will free of charge warranty whatever it is they buy from us. So you buy from us, that warranty ships free no matter what. But the dealers are responsible for their own customers, and for those who can no longer get access to those dealers, or whatever the thing might be, they can come to us to get it warranted. They just have to pay for their freight to them. That is it. That is what that charge is. We're not making money on it. That being said, even if you no longer have access to a dealer in your area, or the dealer you bought it from, you go to another dealer of VIM products and you buy something else from them, 99% of the time they'll warranty out whatever it is you're buying from them, or whatever it is you need, because you're buying stuff from them. So you're not just using them, you're going and they're now your dealer. And because of that, they will warranty your product that you did not buy from them. Most of the time. That's their prerogative.
Yeah, and us being primarily a tool truck brand, that's where you find most of our stuff. The dealer is the one that usually warranties it for you. We've only had to start doing this because, online sellers have gotten larger and larger, and they're everywhere. So you can't like control how much of your products goes online, really. So people want to post their products online. That means people are going to be buying it online. That means they're going to have to warranty it somehow. and we just suggest that you go through your original form of purchase.
Which is our policy, which every dealer, or every customer of ours that's a dealer knows that policy. That being said, that's why we push everyone through tool trucks. Tool trucks will service you in a way that, I mean, I'd almost argue that the internet couldn't.
In a way that Amazon could never. And that's the biggest thing. It's kind of hard, it's kind of difficult to find a contact for who you bought the product from on Amazon. If you go purchase something on Amazon, odds are you don't know the name of the person who sold it, or the company that sold it to you from Amazon.
And yeah, Prime offers
because it's not Amazon that sold it to you. Amazon was like the distributor of that product, but there was another company that posted that product on Amazon, and that's who you would need to reach out to. So Amazon can be tough to work with if you're buying tools and you need to warranty something.
That's true. I mean, for a lot of other things, Amazon is. I'm guilty of it. In terms of, buying this, and if you don't like that, you can return it, or if whatever, you can return it through Prime, and they've kind of spoiled the consumer in that sense, which I get it, man. I'm also a consumer when it comes to other things, but with tools, you don't see that as much. With tools, a lot of times, they leave it up to the seller whether or not they can warranty it, and then that becomes a whole spiel because a lot of people don't allow that for hand tools because that makes sense. You're going to use a tool and return it. Won't be in the same condition it was when they sent it. But that's neither here nor there. That's enough of that. Next thing. Let's see what he says.
Your seller can warranty it, great. But if you have to go through VIM, it's going to be $10, which for a lot of their products are kind of on the smaller side. $10 is a real bite out of that. I think that's, I'll be honest, I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of comments in this video, and I'm saying this in case Vim checks us out. There's going to be a lot of comments. Go look at down there. They're going to be like, forget this. I'm never buying from them because I'm not going to pay $10 to warranty something. Now remember, devil's advocate here. You can, in many cases, warranty through the seller. But again, that $10 does kind of rub me the wrong way as well. Now, as far as places, who is the seller? As I said, we could independent tool trucks, other places like that. It looks like Home Depot has quite a few of the products. None of them are in store. These are like, there's 0 in stock, but they have 52 items listed on the website, so you can order it from the website. The other place we see them quite often is on Amazon. This is Amazon's website here. We got the wrench extenders. I'm a big fan of the wrench extenders, tools like that. We got some ratchets. We got a lot of the bits and stuff. They have 8 pages worth of their products, so quite a bit. So at the end of the day, who is Vim? Well, Vim seems to be somebody who worked with the company, liked what they were doing, and said, I want to take this to the next level. They've clearly had some sort of reinvestment of cash when it comes to advertising and dealing with YouTubers and stuff like myself. I've never reviewed them, honestly. I've never dealt with them or talked with them. But I get questions like this all the time. Who are these people? And I've been seeing it myself, and I thought, you know what? Let's get to the bottom of it. So that's the deepish dive we could do. It's not a huge company. They were never big news kind of company. And it looks like they kind of started dipping their toes into the automotive probably in the early 2000s, but that's kind of a guesstimate because we don't really have hard numbers on it. But we can see that as of, 2015, they were definitely doing automotive style tools, and they've been expanding ever since, doing more and more and more of them. I think they look like great tools for the let's call it the prosumer to the budget pro kind of level. They're definitely one of the.
So that was a pretty accurate deep dive. He got a lot of the stuff right. He might have missed a few things, but that's natural for someone who doesn't know. He did a pretty good job deep diving into it, and he was right. We are a small company. We don't make headline big tool brand news. No, we're doing our thing. We're chugging along, and he was exactly right. It was someone who worked with the company for a long time, liked what they were doing, and took advantage of the opportunity to make it his own and take it to the next level.
Yeah,
essentially
exactly right. So that was a really good video, and to Jeff at Den of Tools, we appreciate the time that you took to do that deep dive. And
that must have taken days of just diving.
It definitely took a while. We hope that this helped and gave a little more information into the background of things and the things that he might not have discovered. So if you guys have any questions for us, we'll answer it in the next Tool Tuesday episode. Just comment down below what your question is. If you're not following us already, please follow and like the video, because that does help the algorithm.
Yeah. Also, this is a very new thing for us. We've never done this. Like you said, we had 93 videos, and we've never done this type of video. Now, this is probably long as shit. And that being said, if you never want to see this type of thing again, let us know. And if you did enjoy it, also let us know. So,
And if you made it to the end of the video,
wow.
Thank you
know
very
what?
much.
You're a real one.
All right. Peace out, and we'll see you next week.